the greatest in-ring performer of all time.
14-time world champion and a headliner.
I'll do something, Vince, that no WWE superstar has ever done before, and by God, you have.
He was the guy when it came to pro wrestling. When they thought about pro wrestling, they thought about like Hulk Hogan. That was always like, you wrestle like Hulk Hogan? Yes.
Roman Reigns as the tribal chief is the greatest of all time.
Vince kind of viewed Lex Luger possibly as a replacement for Hulk Hogan and some of the bigger stars, the Randy Savages, the Ultimate Warriors.
For nearly 40 years, WWE under Vince McMahon has always had one central superstar, the top guy, the face of the company. From Hulk Hogan in the 80s to Roman Reigns today, Vince McMahon has always had his guy to build everything around. But who held that spot? And how did they define their era? Let's break down every top guy of the Vince McMahon era. Hulk Hogan, 1984 to 1992. The very first face of Vince McMahon's vision for WWE was Hulk Hogan, with his Say Your Prayers and Eat Your Vitamins persona.
Say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
Hulk Hogan became the ultimate superhero of the rock and wrestling era. He headlined WrestleManias, crossed into mainstream pop culture, and carried the WWE to national success.
He was somebody that really transcended past professional wrestling and, into pop culture.
And what he's done, what he contributed to this our whole lifestyle, our whole business, helped us catapult it to where it is today.
Hogan wasn't just a wrestler, he was a cultural icon. But by the early 1990s, the act was fading, and Vince McMahon, well, he needed a new face. The Ultimate Warrior and Lex Luger, 1990 till 1994, but briefly. After Hogan, Vince tried to find his next superhero. The Ultimate Warrior was the first experiment, defeating Hogan at WrestleMania 6 back in 1990 and looking like the chosen one. He had the body, he had the persona, and he had the fans wanting more.
And when he walked through the room or through the gym or anywhere else, people went, his shoulders were like this, he was just gigantic. I was 262 or 3 pounds. He was 285 pounds.
But his reign quickly fizzled out, and he never truly carried the company. Then came Lex Luger in 1993. Vince put everything behind him, launching the Lex Express bus tour and building him up as the new all-American hero. For a while, it looked like Lex Luger was destined to actually become the next Hogan, but fans never fully embraced him, and by 1994, the push completely collapsed. Instead, WWE shifted focus to Bret Hart, who became the true face of the company in that era. Bret Hart, 1993 till 1996. After the steroid scandal and Hogan's departure, Vince shifted focus to smaller, more athletic stars. Enter Bret the Hitman Hart. He wasn't flashy like Hogan, but he was a technician who delivered classic matches night after night. Bret became the face of WWE in the early 90s, representing the new generation era, where it wasn't all about the bodybuilding physiques, it was actually about good wrestling. And while the business may have dipped, Bret gave the company some stability and also some credibility when it needed it the most. And then that pushed us on perfectly to the next superstar, Shawn Michaels, 1996 till 1997. By the mid-1990s, Bret passed the torch to Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn. He was charismatic, he was athletic, and he represented a flashier, more controversial product. So he was basically Bret Hart, but he had that flashiness of Hulk Hogan as well. So basically he was an amazing wrestler and he was flashy at the same time and also a little bit controversial, which is what Vince McMahon really liked. His reign as the main guy in the WWE included legendary matches and the infamous Montreal Screwjob back in 1997.
And the controversy that brewed in its aftermath is about to finally boil over.
This match is for the World
Wrestling Federation Championship.
Shawn was the face of the WWE for a short but memorable run before injuries forced him out of the spotlight. But it was around this time where WWE were pushing more towards the controversial types of storylines, and that basically created the perfect ground for the next superstar. Stone Cold Steve Austin, 1997 till 2002. The Attitude Era belonged to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Everybody wanted to be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He had that brash, tough, rough, redneck attitude.
With his beer-chugging, his anti-authority character, Austin became the ultimate rebel against Vince McMahon himself. He wasn't just the top guy, he was the product. His feud with Vince was the backbone of WWE's comeback against WCW. Austin made wrestling cool again, selling out arenas and breaking merchandise records. And at the same time, he wouldn't have done a lot of that if it wasn't for the next guy on this list. The Rock, 1999 till 2002. While Austin was the man, injuries forced WWE to lean on another rising star, and that was The Rock, with his unmatched charisma and his mic skills.
Shane, your role, know it. Triple H, your mouth, shut it. I am the game. Undertaker with his Mickey Mouse tattoos.
The Rock is genetically electrifying. He emits electricity, emitting electricity 365 days a year.
The Rock quickly became the people's champion. By 2000, he was headlining WrestleManias and carrying the company when Austin was sidelined. For a time, The Rock and Austin shared the top spot, but Rock's mainstream crossover made him just as important. And then when The Rock left to Hollywood, it was up to the next guy to fill in. Triple H, 2000 till 2004. When Austin retired and The Rock went to Hollywood, WWE needed some stability. That's where Triple H stepped in as the Game. He became WWE's dominant heel, carrying the company through a transitional period. While fans didn't see him as a cultural icon that Austin or The Rock were, Triple H was Vince McMahon's reliable centerpiece, always in the main event picture. But then eventually, it was time for WWE to find a new superstar who could carry the company for the next decade or more. And that brings us on to our next guy, John Cena, 2005 till 2016. After a few transitional years, WWE found its new face in John Cena. From 2005 onward, Cena became the undisputed top guy. His clean-cut image, his never-give-up slogan, and his crossover appeal made him a star in the PG era. Fans booed the PG era, fans cheered him for what he was doing, but Cena was always the guy who carried the company for over a decade.
John Cena's deserved everything he's gotten because he's worked for it.
Selling out arenas and headlining WrestleManias, selling out merch like no one else. He was Vince's ultimate company man, and he did so good by the company that he still thanks the company and they still thank him up till this very day. But sooner or later, he was going to leave and go on to face Hollywood. And that was when WWE really needed a young, fresh star that could come in and hopefully carry the company for a good number of years. And that brings us on to the next guy, Roman Reigns, 2015 up until present. Finally, we reach Roman Reigns. Vince McMahon saw him as the next face of WWE as early as 2015, but fans really resisted. They were booing him despite his push, and for years, Roman was presented as the hero that fans didn't want. Then, in 2020, it all just clicked. Reigns turned heel.
I came back as the tribal chief. I started to realize if they want me to do my job being the face of WWE, I have to do it my way.
Oh my God, what the hell? Who the hell? You know who the hell that is? Oh my God, Roman Reigns is back!
Roman Reigns didn't come back as the Roman Reigns we all knew and loved.
We never saw this coming!
Became the tribal chief, and he dominated as the undisputed champion. Today, he's clearly the top guy, closing out Vince McMahon's run as the head of WWE. So guys, I know that we missed out on a couple of names, but the criteria was Vince McMahon's top guy, the number one guy in the company. So we may not have mentioned people like The Undertaker, Chris Jericho, or even Batista, but were they really the number one guy in the company at the time? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about some people that we may have missed on the list? And what do you think about the people that are on the list? And also, who do you think is the next guy after Roman Reigns decides to step back? Let us know in the comments below, guys. And also give this video a like and subscribe for more wrestling content like this. And guys, I will catch you on the next one.